Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Survivor fans of all ages. My name is Cheston, and I have the extreme honor to be called the executive producer, creator, and host of Survivor Durant. Today we have our first archive series video documenting the entire history of Durant's Survivor games, located here in Durant, Oklahoma. Today we'll start at the beginning. We'll go over Durant's first Survivor game, touching on some of the challenges, giving a deep dive as to how we got our first winner. But how did Survivor Durant even become a thing? Well, the purpose for Survivor Durant was to just settle a huge rivalry that my 8 roommates were having at the time. They were always trying to outdo each other, lots of trash talking, very competitive. And they knew that I was this huge Survivor fan. So they had an idea of what it consisted of. I pitched the idea, everyone loved it, and they decided to settle who the man of the house was through a game of Survivor. And you know that when all the players are roommates, there's gonna be some pre-gaming going on. There was no exception here. Everyone had their plans in place, discussions as to who should go first and who shouldn't. And to make even more controversy, a day before the game, I selected the tribes and put it on display. So at this point, everyone had some idea of who they wanted to target first. Now getting to the game. The month was November, the day was Thursday, and all the guys were at a BCM praise and worship event. So they were singing their hearts out to God, and at 10 o'clock at night was coming home to play some Survivor. Breaking hearts, duking it out, backstabbing. It was on. The red tribe consisted of Luke, Briar, Robbie, and Dylan L. And the blue tribe had Bobby, Cole, JJ, and Dylan P. The game started across the street from our 2-story home in a large parking lot. The tribes were lined up and the first challenge began. One at a time, they would run inside the house with a spoon, popping their tribe-colored balloon and getting a dice. They would balance the dice on the spoon and run back to where their tribes were, and then the next person would go. Once all 4 had got their dice and came back, they would look for the marked side of the dice, which indicated a number, and they would use the 4 numbers to unlock a phone. The first tribe to unlock the phone won immunity. But there was a twist. Isn't there always? Instead of running towards the house, they could have run away from the house, which would have given them a clue to a hidden idol. And nobody decides to go for it. I mean, these guys talked a big game, said they had all these guts, were going to make risky moves. But I get it, right? You don't want to be the person that goes for the idol right in front of everyone and shown that you can't be trusted. So they're not dumb. So the challenges really neck and neck. They were both trying to unlock the phone. Then boom, blue tribe wins immunity, sending red to tribal council. And all of a sudden, wee-oo, cops show up. Holy crap, everybody hide the phones, hide the dice, hide the spoons, and hide the bandanas for sure. And the police step out of the car. They're like, we got a call that these kids run around the neighborhood with red and blue bandanas making a ruckus. And we're like, nope, we don't know nothing about that, sir. So they leave. Everything goes back to normal. We decide to play it cool. And red still has to go to tribal council. A little bit about the Red Tribe's dynamics. So there was a consensus amongst the house that Luke had to go first. He was the only one with Survivor experience, having played before in high school at like a camp retreat or something. And he was super excited about it. And they wanted to rain on his parade and get him out first. So it comes down to the vote. Dylan and Robbie both vote for Luke. And Luke and Briar vote for Dylan. So we have a tie. Go to the tiebreaker. Briar decides to flip his vote back to Luke, showing that he can be trusted. Luke gets voted out, super bummed, but the damage is done. Dylan is on a rampage now because Breyer didn't vote for Luke first. And his campaign slogan is, Breyer's a snake. Going into round 2, we start by immediately dropping our buffs and boom! We are merged at the final 7. There was an established pecking order at that point, but by Breyer going against the grain, he sort of switched things up, making people more uneasy of him than others. The individual immunity challenge was a memory challenge, and Cole dominated, destroying everyone, proving that he truly does have the memory of an elephant. At Tribal Council, Dylan L. got around, let everybody know that Breyer couldn't be trusted, and man, Breyer was voted out unanimously. I guess this goes to prove, never vote with Luke on the first go-around. Breyer placed his vote on Dylan P. because to him, word was Dylan P. was the second to go. So Dylan P. kind of gets a flag at this point that, man, I'm next. I just had a vote come my way. Now, backing up the story just a little bit, 3 days prior to Survivor Durant starting, there was an advantage hidden in the city of Durant, and clues were sent over Facebook chat to these 8 roommates, narrowing down the location of where this advantage is. It was simply 2 blocks down the street at the local courthouse underneath the gazebo. Dylan L. found it a day before when tribes were drawn in the pouring rain. So Dylan L. has a double vote advantage that nobody else knows about. And I think if there's one thing that we can take away from this series and the history of Survivor Durant, it's don't freaking tell anyone about the things that you find, because you can't make as many moves as you would be able to if they were secret. And this is one of the only times where someone keeps it a secret. Going into the final 6 immunity challenge, Dylan P. knows that he has to pull it out or he's done. And the challenge is a classic. It's superlatives. And Robbie gets crapped on. He gets the superlative for most likely to fail, doesn't deserve to be here the most, is a mama's boy. He just gets destroyed. He's kind of the joke of the house, I guess, in some way. He's no reason to be. He's very smart, but he just gets crapped on. No one takes him as serious, I guess. And Robbie gets really mad and feels very disheartened and wants to leave this sort of alliance that he's built between him and Cole and Dylan L. And Cole slowly pulls him back in and reassures him and tells him not to take things as serious. And Dylan P. is trying to pull him away from Dylan L. and say that he needs to make a move, and tells him that if you want to prove them wrong, that you do deserve to be here, vote with me. Dylan P. also pitches this idea to JJ, who is known for being this wild, radical, violent, spontaneous, jujitsu motherfucker, right? And JJ's like, sure, I'll go for it because you were the first person to talk to me this round. JJ's wild like that. If you give him a granola bar, homeboy will vote with you for the round. And to make matters even more interesting, there was a reward challenge that round where the winners would possibly receive an idol clue. The game was a simple game of blindfold, leading the blindfold to solve a puzzle. So they broke off into 2 teams of 3 with JJ, Dylan L, and Cole on one team, Dylan P, Bobby, and Robbie on the other team. I promised Robbie I wouldn't let him run into a wall. Boom, he immediately did. Still sorry to this day, Robbie. At the end of the challenge, JJ, Dylan L, and Cole win. I give them each an envelope randomly. 2 of the envelopes are empty. 1 has the clue inside. JJ gets the clue, and what does he do? He reads it and throws it in the middle of everyone just to watch the chaos. Everyone dog piles on tops of the clue. Madness is going on. The clue gets around to everyone, gets ripped up, gets shredded, but everyone knows about it. Everyone has read it, so everyone's running around outside now looking for the idol. The hidden immunity idol was duct taped to the bottom of the stair rail. So as you're entering the house, going up the steps into the house, there was a guardrail that you can hold on to, and it was duct taped to the bottom of that. Who finds it? Dylan L. So Dylan L is feeling amazing at this point. The dude has a hidden immunity idol. He knows that his opposition Dylan P does not. He has the advantage in the city, which was the double vote that no one else knows about. And he's feeling extremely confident. He's got his number one ally, Cole. He has the loyalty of Robbie. He has the loyalty of Bobby. Now, Bobby is an extremely loyal guy. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. But what he doesn't like are dictators and people that are like these higher than you ruler, make you feel very low. He hates that. And Dylan L is kind of dictating the game right now, and Bobby sees it. Now, this final 6 tribal council is also the last time Dylan L can use his double vote advantage. Bobby's safe because he won immunity. We come down to the votes, and it's 4-2. 4 votes for Dylan P, and 2 votes for Dylan L. Dylan L does not use his double vote advantage. And he used his fear tactics as to what happened to Briar if you turn on him to keep the loyalty of Bobby and Robbie. And JJ voted with Dylan P because Dylan P gave JJ like a sandwich or something. Another huge factor in Bobby and Robbie voting out Dylan P was Cole. They both had an undying pact with Cole and trusted him implicitly. Going into the final 5 immunity challenge, Dylan L was split because he wanted JJ to go because of how wild he was, but he also wanted Bobby to go next. That was the initial plan. But Bobby wins the final 5 immunity challenge, which was a balancing challenge where you had a ball on a board and you stood on a log. Bobby wins his second individual immunity, guaranteed spot in the final 4. This proves Dylan L right that Bobby is this comp beast that he thought all along. After speaking with Cole that JJ needed to go next, Cole was like, absolutely. Cole gets with Robbie. Robbie's on board with it. Cole gets with Bobby. Bobby's now hesitant. Bobby is now on the train of we need to get Dylan out now. So Cole obviously doesn't go with it because him and Dylan L are working together. And Bobby approaches JJ saying, if you don't vote with me to get out Dylan L, you're going to be next. But JJ does his JJ thing and he flips a coin and he votes for whoever he wants to. And Bobby votes for Dylan L all by himself. And we got 3 votes for JJ. JJ's gone. And it's 3 against 1 basically in the final 4. The thoughts about everyone. Everyone thinks Cole is this very kind, genuine, nice guy, very honest. Everyone wants to go to the end with Cole. Everyone sees Dylan L as this untrustworthy mafioso. Everyone sees Robbie as this easy-to-beat pushover, and that really came through in the superlative challenge. And finally, you have Bobby, who was thought as going to be a comp beast, now really is a comp beast with back-to-back immunity wins. And finally, in the final 5, that was the last time Dylan Lemons could have played the hidden immunity idol. So Dylan has a dead idol and a dead double vote in his pocket. Now we go to the final 4 immunity challenge, and it's a toughie. It is an ice bath challenge. The final 4 had to lay on the ground without a shirt and not move. They couldn't have any limb come off of the ground or they would be considered out. We let the former contestants that were voted out previously come back and get some revenge and put ice wherever they desired. It came down to Robbie and Bobby, and somehow, some way, Robbie found his heart of a lion and beat Bobby, guaranteeing him a spot in the final 3. Now, at this point, it's just pure academics, right? Bobby's gone. But he went down swinging. He tried everything that he could to get people to flip on Dylan, and it just wouldn't work. Cole and Robbie were inseparable. Cole had such a tight leash on Robbie, and Cole could have flipped it if he wanted to, but he had other plans, and there was no way Dylan was not going to vote Bobby after Bobby voted for him first. Also, what really convinced Cole to vote out Bobby in the final 4 was Dylan, because Dylan kept reminding Cole of Bobby's comp wins, and we have to get rid of him now. We can't take the gamble of him staying in the game and just winning his way to the end. So Bobby's fate was sealed with 3 votes against him. He was the next member of the jury. In the final 3, we have Cole, Dylan L., and Robbie. And the challenge is designed to be the most difficult and could possibly go for hours. It is an endurance comp where they have to hold on to a rope. And on the other end of the rope is a weight and a giant water bucket. And they have to hold it with only one arm. After about 30 seconds, Cole drops, and he drops purposefully. Turns out, Cole made a final 2 deal with about everyone who played the game, including Robbie and Dylan, and Cole knew that if he was in the final 3 with both Dylan L. and Robbie, it didn't matter who won immunity, they would take him to the end. So Cole just throws the challenge. And after about 3 more minutes, Dylan L. slips, the rope slips from him, and Robbie somehow pulls it out, guaranteeing himself a spot at the final tribal council. Everyone was super impressed that Robbie was able to win 2 challenges, first of all, not only that, but that he was able to beat Dylan L. of all people in the final competition, it being this really tough stamina challenge. So great on Robbie for redeeming his name. Now was the giant pitch. Who does Robbie take to the end? All Cole had to say was, we was loyal to each other the whole time. And Dylan didn't really say that much to Robbie because he knew that his fate was sealed. Cole and Dylan L. did have a lot of regrets to each other. They were like, man, I really wanted to go to the end with you. See, Dylan L. is loyal to someone. It's whoever his number 1 is. And his number 1 was Cole. He gave his word to him first. They couldn't go to the end together. Cole wasn't that heartbroken. He was just playing it up to try to get Dylan's vote to win. Cole knew that he was going to the end no matter what. And that's what happened. Robbie cast the sole vote against Dylan L. Dylan L. becoming the final member of the jury. This was Heartbreak City for Dylan L. In his mind, he had the game won, and in reality, who knows? He played a great game. Some of the jury would have been harsh on him for being kind of a villain. But, like I said, he had all these advantages that they did not know existed. A double vote, an idol he didn't need to use. He had all this power and didn't need to use it. He had his speech ready to go. But sometimes it's that last leg that can damage the best of players. Finally, Cole and Robbie could pitch their cases to the jury as to why they deserve to be Survivor Durant's first champion. Cole went first. He wasted no time. He revealed that he made a lot of connections with a lot of people before the game started because he seemed to be the most trusted in the house. And he used that to his advantage to create as much final 2s, final 3s as he could. and he tried to honor them as much as he could so that way he never seemed like a liar. He said that he played everyone like a fiddle, that he is the kingpin, he's the slick daddy, and that he deserved to win the game. And it really impressed a lot of people finding out that Cole has this deceptive side to him, that he really can be sneaky. And Robbie's story was a very interesting one, and he really played it up, that he was this underdog, this person that no one took serious, that he had the comeback of the year story, that he was able to take out the number one player in the game. So we had this great comeback story in Robbie and this surprising manipulative sort of story in Cole. And it really impressed a lot of people on both sides. In the end, it was a 4-2 vote, with the winner being Cole, our first Survivor champion. Thank you so much, everyone out there, for watching, listening, observing Survivor Durant's Season 1. Our story has been told. Let it not be forgotten. After the game was over, I had a big question on my mind. Could I do it again on a larger scale? Could I go public with it? Can I make it a fundraiser? That's another story for another time. Peace out.